Jesus Christ.
One.
Danny,
We're live.
stop saying slurs, Danny. What are you doing?
Stop it, please.
Thank God you stopped right before we went live. My
Please.
God, that
I
could
was
have been
counting.
bad,
I
Dan.
was just counting, please.
Danny, I think you were a bit, that was really pushing it close to the edge
Nick,
there.
please.
I think the combination of the accent and the slurs was kind of crazy, but you know what? Do you, Chief? I can't tell you how to live your life. How do I see the chat? Oh, there's the chat. Wait,
Oh,
hold up.
right. That's the best
Studio
part
chat?
about this.
Wait. Live stream chat. There it
Chat.
is. There it is.
So, hi, everybody. Very sorry, but also you're welcome. Sorry that this is a fucking stream podcast, but you're welcome that it's live streamed to everybody. The thing we said wouldn't happen again. That's happening for two reasons. One, Christmas.
And both of them are Danny's fault. Both
Yeah,
of them are Danny's fault, I'd like to say. I was very down to have Danny over my house for a nice little me, a little hot chocolate, a little hang. But nope. Danny didn't want to drive the 45 minutes to get down here. So if you're upset at Danny and you're wondering why we're both in our homes, it's Danny's fault. You want to explain to them why it's your fault, Dan?
No, it's entirely my fault. I'm just absolutely and utterly drowning in work, in making up time for like Christmas stuff with Sarah and the roommates and everything, getting Christmas ready. I'm just up to my neck in it. And then today I tried to go to urgent care because I think I have an ear infection because my jaw's been hurting for the last couple of days, and then it worked its way up into my ear, and I was like, all right, I gotta go see urgent care before I go on this plane so it doesn't hurt for 8 hours. Going to urgent care today, get there at like 1:10 p.m., try to open the door. Takes me like 15 minutes before I realized that there's a sign that says they're out for lunch until 2 p.m. So I walk on down to my local Burger King, as I do.
Yeah, of course. Always within walking distance. That's the most important thing. That's how Danny plans where he's going to live. Is it within walking distance of a Burger King?
Yeah, that's entirely true. I got Burger King for probably the 8th time this week.
Yep.
Got a chicken sandwich, crispy chicken sandwich with no mayo. And then I get down there at 2 p.m., walk in. There's one woman like at the desk, and she's like, "Can we help you?" And I'm like, "Yes, you can. Do you take walk-ins?" And she goes, "Sorry, we don't have a doctor in today."
Then why are we open?
Why be open?
Yeah.
What? I like almost, for like a brief second, I had like such an intense and instant fit of rage, like behind my eyes, where I was almost like, what is this place then, without a doctor?
This is simply a testament to a failed healthcare system. Like, what are we talking? Did they have a nurse? Did they have like a nurse practitioner? Or was it just like, hey, we have no healthcare professionals?
It's like they're just open and they just hire her to tell people that they aren't actually open, just to turn people away. And boy, oh boy, did I feel some intense sympathy for Luigi in that moment.
Yep, you're like, just quick question. Yeah, no doctor, great. Who owns this company? Just wondering.
I want to be like, very interesting. Let me ask you something. Have you been watching the news lately?
Did you happen to see a man in an orange jumpsuit getting perp walked by half of the NYPD? Cool. You're going to be the reason that happens to me.
Golly. Everyone in the chat is just saying, why are they open then? Yeah, Danny always seems one ouchie away from death. I certainly am. I take after my mother in that regard. She's in a perpetual state of dying, and
Fair,
I think I'm
but she's
on
also
my
in a
way.
perpetual state of like very much like fighting against dying as well. Your mother has fucking taken a multitude of L's in the health sense, and is every single time has come out victorious. You, on the other hand, I think if you went through half the things that your mother went to, you would crumple like a dried leaf, Danny. You know, like when you're walking on the street and you're like, oh, that's gonna be a crunchy leaf. You see it, you're like, oh, that's gonna make like even like a pine cone. You see like a freshly dropped pine cone, you're like, oh, I can't wait to step on you. That's how I feel your constitution is, because I have a strong sneaking suspicion here that it's just TMJ. You're like, oh, I'm stressed out and my jaw hurts. You're probably just clenching. Have you considered that?
This never happened to me before. It started with like when I would eat stuff, this half of my jaw would chew, it would hurt the past couple of days, and then now it's kind of like worked its way up into my ear, where if I like jiggle my ear, it'll be painful.
Gotcha. And how often are you jiggling your ear?
It's one of those things where I know it exists, so now I want to do it all the time.
That's
you know
so
what I
fair.
mean?
I like when you have a thing that hurts a little bit, it's kind of fun. Like I have an ingrown nail right now. I'm gonna fuck with it the entire podcast. Like if you just have like a 1 or a 2 on the pain scale, I think it just reminds you you're alive.
Yeah, I feel that way. I know what you're talking about. I get that way with like gum pain. Like when I have like a little cut on my gum, I'll like fuck with it. I'll be like, oh, that hurts so good.
I about 3.5 pounds of kettle corn last night, and I just shredded the inside of my mouth. I then proceeded to have a tahine rimmed drink, so I was just putting salt directly into my wounds. My God, what a way to remind myself that I'm on the precipice of death at any given moment. Yeah, so things are not going well for you.
Not great. I'm definitely stressed. This is the most stressed I've ever been during a holiday season, and I do feel really bad. Like I wanted with every fiber in my being to make this a live, like, in-person podcast, because it's the last episode of Don to Don, and I don't like doing the Zoom podcasts because I know people don't really like them as much, so I do, like, legitimately feel bad. It is just one of those things where, like, Sarah's been really wanting, like, quality Christmas time, and I've been encroaching on that with work, and I still have so much work that I had to do and will do today.
Have you considered having your girlfriend be 16 hours away?
You know,
because boy, oh boy, have I been working. My God. We have this really, really super sick meta that we've unlocked here where she's 16 hours ahead of me. So basically, the second that I wake up, if I wake up at 8 a.m., it's midnight there. So I'm like, hi, good morning. She's like, good night. And then by the time that she's up, it's like 8 p.m. here. So we have like an hour-long call. And then I'm like, okay, good night. And then that's it. And, I'm not going insane or anything. I'm not like slowly clawing my eyes out. But man, have I been working, Dan.
Yeah, you haven't been too mean recently. I caught you being mean to Richard, our producer, the other day, and I had to rein you in.
I was not being mean to Richard, our producer. Richard he's been making a skit for Steven that's been keeping him up days on an end. And I was like, hey, Richard, if I have to explain this to you one more time, I'm going to claw my eyeballs out. I also was on a phone call with Richard the other day where we were talking to a buddy of mine, Jason, who we were talking about like bringing onto the Anime IRL page, and he was being like very aggressive. He was like, no, I need you. And he was like, I don't have time to work with you guys. He's like, listen, and I was like, Richard. He was like, I need hands. He's like, I need somebody on set. And I was like, he's told us he can't do that, Richard, please. I was like, please. He's already told us he can't do that. The holiday season gets to all of us.
I was just going to say, it sure seems to be.
What a ho-ho holiday. What a ho-ho happy holidays. I just saw somebody say, no girlfriend grind set. And that's it right there, baby.
I saw somebody in the chat go, when we were talking about the medical ailments, someone was saying, that's just being over 30. Can I tell you something?
Get fucked on, nerd.
Can I tell you something?
So big for me.
I posted a video, or I did like a joke in one of my Owl House videos where I was like, you know what? I'm 25 years old. I don't really need to be like the world's biggest Owl House fan. Oh. That was a crazy glasses switch.
Thanks. It was a sponsor.
And someone posted that on TikTok, and there's a comment with 58 comments and 14,000 likes. And he goes,
14,000 likes.
And the person goes, he's 25. Why'd I think he was like in his mid-30s? And all 60 comments are, my brother is 25. Not gonna lie, Danny looks older. Where is it? Like, he gives 30 vibes, though. I totally thought he was exactly 30. He's younger than me. He ages while he watches everything we request him. I thought he was 40 plus, this person says. 30 is insane. I thought he was 35. This was brutal. This was an absolute slaughtering. This was a hanging of me.
Hey, Dan, I want you to know that you're loved and that I think you look great, buddy.
This person goes...
This is not coming at the right time. Danny's been getting like facials, and he's like, because I'm a YouTuber and I'm vain, and everybody on the internet's like, ugly.
This person goes, maybe it's the hairline, maybe the voice, maybe the cringe millennial phrases he uses at time, maybe it's his facial hair, maybe it's his Pokemon obsession. Who knows? I could go on. It went on so long. Also, hairline. I have such a normal man's hairline.
You have a very normal man. You are not receding at all. In fact, I'm actually quite envious of your natural hairline. I had to spend money to get your hairline. Fuck. Here's my thing, Danny. I'll fully acknowledge. You look younger than I do. And so this is why I don't say I'm 28, because I know I look every ounce of fucking 28. I look every goddamn ounce of 28. People are like, oh, 28, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't. People are never like, oh wow, Nick, you look 22, unless they're trying to like get into my bed.
Would you have been able to handle a flood of comments telling you look 30 to 40?
Joke's on you, brother. I don't read my comments. So I don't have to handle dick. That is the idea, homie. If you know you got feelings that are easy to hurt, never put yourself in the situation to hurt them. That's my motto, baby. That's my motto. No, I would immediately like stop drinking. Nick looks my age for sure. Hey, Seraph. Yeah, no, I'm closing this. I'm closing the chat.
Yeah, I just realized this was a mistake too. I could see someone thinking Dan was 34.
Yeah,
maybe it's the eyebrows.
Close the chat immediately. Close the chat immediately. This was all a bad idea. This was all this. I can't believe it really be. And listen, maybe Sarah will apologize. I won't see it. The chat box is closed for the next 10 minutes until this cold open is done. I'll tell everybody when the chat's open again, and then you can choose to be nice to Nick. I told you, I'm sensitive.
This was devastating. This was a devastating blow.
Why the fuck did we do this to ourselves?
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, so we're live today because Danny's drowning in the emotional weight of being in a relationship and having a bunch of friends that he needs to buy things for, and his parents wanting him to love them enough that they buy him tickets to WWE shows. He's also drowning in the weight of responsibilities that I keep tying him into projects, even though we're not filming on Anime IRL until January 4th. I know for a fact that put some blood to your penis when you saw Richard was like, hey, we're not filming Jeopardy this week, and then everyone was like, I don't get back until January 4th, and you're like, oh my god, I don't have to do additional work for the next couple of weeks, but you will be home and you're not bringing any of your recording equipment, which means no work for you. You know what I'm gonna be doing? You know what I'm gonna be doing, Dan? I'm probably gonna work on Christmas. I bet you're jealous as hell, and what's insane is that he probably is.
I do like going home because it gives me time to catch up on stuff. Like, I'm gonna watch. We should have a game this week. We don't.
Yeah, we kind of do.
We kind of do, or at least like give me a show that I could just crush on a plane. I love being on a plane. It allows me to finally breathe for the first time in my entire life.
I also love being on a plane because I'm like, oh, my phone doesn't work. And then they're like, you can buy Wi-Fi. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. They're like,
just have the stewardess's head like right up to your mouth. Like,
yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I see the guy like 2 seats in front of me, like working on an Excel document. Like, and I'm like, stop being a reminder I could be doing things. I'm trying to watch RRR for the first time in the format it was supposed to be watched, a 9-inch television. Yeah, like the only time I ever have the fucking patience to watch a 3-hour action movie is on a goddamn airplane. Yeah, I love planes. That's why I love going to Asia, because it's like 12 hours of uninterrupted. Like I can be like, oh, I'm gonna be a monster for the next 12 hours.
Dude, we gotta go to more cons like across the country, because I loved being on a plane with you.
Fair.
We didn't even talk to each other, but I loved the brief instances where I watched Mean Girls the musical on the plane, and I was like, man, that was way better than the first time I saw it. Maybe watching a movie on a plane just makes a movie good. Like, it tanks your standards, and it's just good.
100%.
And then I immediately watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I took out my earbuds, and I was like, that was terrible.
This movie fucking sucks. It's so funny because it's literally this is gonna be a flashback, but Sonic 4 just got announced.
What do you mean? Sonic 3 just came out.
Sonic 4 just got announced. 2027. They were like, wow, Sonic 3, what a hit. People are crucifying Shadow online. There's the viral marketing campaign of everybody just turning Shadow into Jesus on the cross. And they were like, this must be an indicator. This movie's fucking crushing it. So apparently it's already been greenlit. 2027, Sonic 4.
Wow.
Do you think when you saw the initial Sonic like trailer, you were like, oh wow, this is a movie that's gonna get 4 more movies?
No, but you know what? I do wish they stuck with the original design. I want to see Tails like that. I want to see Knuckles, Shadow. I want to see Metal Sonic looking like ugly Sonic.
Yes, absolutely. I want like the full dentured teeth, everything. Like I want a gummy ass mouth like filled with terrifying old people teeth Sonic. That'd be great. One of the things that I regret in my life though is that I never became a Sonic fan. Like I see the Sonic fandom, I feel like the way that the outside world sees the anime fandom, where I'm like, I see people with Sonic tattoos and I'm like, what's that gonna...
A Sonic tattoo is crazy because I don't know if there's a single Sonic property that like what's the one where you're like, wow, that made me cry, that moved me to tears, or like
when they kill the fucking little girl, probably
Yeah.
like relating to Shadow.
I guess so. Yeah. I just
My
can't
thing is,
imagine.
like,
Yeah.
I look at the tattoos and I'm like, what's that gonna look like when you're 80? And then I'm like, oh my god, I'm becoming my parents. Like, it's fucking terrifying. So yeah, I do regret that I never got into that. Literally the only Sonic IP I ever interfaced with whatsoever was the the Shadow the Hedgehog game, where you could dual wheel Uzis, and I was like, that's what I thought the entire Sonic verse was just shooting up cops as a hedgehog. It was awesome. I don't remember what that game was about at all.
Literally that. It was so
Really?
sick. We really need to bring that back.
We could stream it.
The Shadow the Hedgehog game.
I bet you right now people would be as interested in the Shadow the Hedgehog game playthrough as our Scooby-Doo watches.
That's 100% fair.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.